12 years ago, I made a mistake that set me back in my weight loss journey. I fell for another quick fix diet. While it worked for a while, I ended up regaining everything back a few years later. Even though I thought I had all of the answers, there I was, starting from scratch. I spent decades testing out new diets that only depleted me, while I was continually frustrated with a scale that hardly moved. No matter how many diets I tried, the weight always came back. The real problem was I always focused on the wrong things. And if you're watching this, chances are you've been there too. Feeling stuck, wondering why nothing seems to work longer than a few months. But what if I told you the secret to losing weight isn't about suffering through another strict diet? That if you want permanent results, you have to build permanent habits that fit into your life. And that's exactly what I'll show you today. There are 4 big regrets most people have when it comes to weight loss. If only I'd recognized these sooner, I would have saved myself decades of frustration. The first regret most dieters have is, I wish I didn't fall for fad diets. Keto, extreme intermittent fasting, 1200 calorie crash diets. I tried them all. And guess what? Every single time I ended up right back where I started. But that was only after months of dealing with the physical and mental struggles that come with extreme diets. In the end, these diets never taught me how to maintain my results. Sure, they all come with their maintenance phase at the end of their miracle books, but how many people ever make it that far? The truth is, most people quickly regain everything they lose on these diets because they set you up for failure. The second regret most dieters have is, I wish I could change my habits instead of always thinking quick fixes are the answer. The most successful people don't go on extreme diets. They build habits. Instead of cutting out everything they love to lose weight as quickly as possible, they focus on small habits like drinking more water, eating balanced meals, and staying active. But they never follow these habits because they have to. Once successful dieters find ways to naturally fit these habits into their lifestyle, they stick with them because that's what makes them feel good. The third regret most dieters struggle with is, I wish I could quit tying my self-worth to the scale. I used to step on the scale every week praying that it dropped. If it went up, I was happy. But if it went down, my entire day was ruined. But here's the thing, the scale never tells the full story. Even if the scale never drops, that doesn't mean that your plan isn't working. You could be losing inches, building muscle, and becoming a leaner version of yourself, all without that number changing. The fourth regret most dieters have is, I wish I could enjoy the process instead of punishing myself whenever I screw up. For years, I saw strenuous cardio as a punishment for eating bad foods. But the moment I found exercises that made me feel stronger, instead of workouts that left me feeling depleted, everything changed. Once I focused my exercise routine around strength training and moving more throughout the day, that's when I realized how much working out just for the calorie burn was working against me. Because that's when I finally started feeling good. And once I felt good, that's when I got the results that I had been chasing for years. So if fad diets don't work, what does? Small, consistent changes that build over time. Because small wins lead to big results as long as you're patient. Instead of quitting all sugar overnight, you could start by cutting out sugary foods during the day while saving a small treat for dessert. Instead of forcing yourself through grueling workouts, start a habit that you'll actually stick to, like a daily 10-minute walk. Instead of obsessing over every less calorie, carb, or gram of fat, focus on eating more whole foods. These small changes work because you can easily fit them into your life without a lot of effort. But when you try building your lifestyle around diets that promote an all or nothing mindset, that's when you'll find yourself starting from scratch. Here's the thing. Most people don't fail because they don't want it bad enough. They fail because they rely on motivation. I used to think that people who lost weight and kept it off were just more motivated than me, that they had some secret willpower that I didn't have. But here's the truth. motivation is fleeting because you'll never feel 100% motivated every single day. That's why people who succeed never rely on motivation. They rely on systems and routines, which makes it way easier to stay on track even when you don't feel like it. The key to consistent results is setting your environment up for success instead of waiting for willpower to set in. If you struggle with late night snacking, then don't keep tempting foods in the house. If you can't find time to exercise, set out your workout clothes the night before and get it done first thing. If you forget to drink water, keep a bottle next to you at all times. And if that's not enough, set a reminder on your phone. The easier you make it to stick to the right habits, the less willpower you need. Because the key to success never comes down to motivation. It comes down to making your habits so simple that you just do them on autopilot. Remember, you never have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. But a lot of people quit because they feel like if they can't be perfect, then what's the point? But real progress never comes from perfection. It comes from staying consistent with the habits that are good enough. When you build new habits over time, you don't run the risk of working hard to be perfect for a week before completely giving up. Before you take action, there's one more thing that you need to know, and this is a big one. Your mindset will make or break your success. I used to believe that weight loss was all about discipline, that if I messed up, it meant that I was lazy or I didn't want it bad enough. But over the years, I learned that your mindset is just as important as your actions. Because if you keep believing that every small mistake means that you failed, all you're doing is setting yourself up for disappointment. Instead of thinking, I blew it, I'll just start again on Monday, you need to shift your mindset to, one meal won't ruin my progress. What matters most is what I do next. Or, I don't have to be perfect, I just have to be consistent. And remind yourself that permanent results don't come from a 30-day challenge, since this is a lifelong journey. When I made these mental shifts, everything changed. I stopped punishing myself for small mistakes and I started enjoying the process. That's when weight loss finally became easy and sustainable. I know it's scary to start. Maybe you've tried before and failed. Maybe you don't even know where to start. But here's the truth. Clarity doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. Because when you stop jumping from diet to diet and you quit waiting for the perfect time, when you finally decide that you're done with beating yourself up over small mistakes, that's when you can start focusing on habits that make a difference in your weight loss journey. In fact, you can start right now. You can pause this video and grab a glass of water, or take a walk while you listen to this video. The next time you're hungry, commit to a high-protein meal so you're not searching through the cabinets for junk an hour later. All you need to do is choose one small habit to focus on this week and then follow through. I used to think I had to change everything about my life at the same time if I wanted to lose weight. Once I began focusing on changing just one habit at a time, that's when I finally saw lasting progress. And that is exactly what I want for you. When you start focusing your plan around small, sustainable changes, the only regret you'll have is not starting sooner. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Do you want to be stuck in the same place, still frustrated that nothing works? Or do you want to look back and realize that one small step today changed everything? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. So what's one small change that you're committing to? Share it in the comments so others can be inspired by you taking action that will forever change your life. If you enjoyed this video, then check out my video on the 2 habits you need to follow for easy fat loss. I think it'll really help. But before you watch it, remember, progress is what you want, not perfection. Start small, stay consistent, and your results will come.